Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to your own YouTube channel. We call it as Exam Now. I welcome you all in the next session, which is a session on RBI Annual Report 2025-26, and it is a most important session for your RBI Grade B examination. Because from this particular session, we can expect at least 3 to 4 questions in the upcoming session, in the upcoming examination. अगर RBI अपने इस एग्जामिनेशन में 2026 एग्जामिनेशन में if RBI will be constructing the questions related to annual report, then this session is going to help you a lot. So I have crafted this session in such a manner that all the important aspects related to the report which can be asked in the phase 1 examination are covered in today's session with the help of MCQs, and I'm pretty sure you are going to enjoy this. So I'll try my level best to explain each and every question which I have come up for you, and I will be expecting you all guys to attempt the questions. I will be expecting you all guys to answer the questions so that you get that confidence that you are in a position to answer the questions. And if you are not in a position to answer the questions, then also don't worry, because this session will help you to revise, to recall, to learn, or to understand the annual report in a more appropriate manner. ठीक है जी, ठीक है, क्लियर है. I hope we are good to go. If we are good to go, just give me yes sir in the comment section so that we can begin the discussion without any further delay. Give me a thumbs up so that we can start today. Each and every question has been constructed keeping in mind that if a question is asked in the examination, you should be in a position to answer the question from the given report. Give me a thumbs up everybody so that we can begin without any further delay. Quickly. Okay, here we go with the first question. The first question is now on your screen. The first question, one second. The first question is based on the ultimate structure of this particular report. So this is basically related to the size of the report. RBI's balance sheet size increased by 20.6% to a value of 91 lakh crore rupees as on 31st March 2026. Is this correct? This is absolutely correct. Sir, RBI की जो बैलेंस शीट है, अगर हम उस बैलेंस शीट साइज की बात करें तो बैलेंस शीट साइज हैज बीन इंक्रीज एंड इट हैज विटनेस एन इंक्रीज बाय 20% and the value is 91 lakh crore rupees. That is absolutely correct. On the other side, if I talk about the RBI income, so the RBI's income over the period of time has also increased. This income has increased by a percentage of 26.4%, and on the other side the expenditure has increased by 102%, and this high increase in expenditure is all because of contingency buffer which has been maintained by RBI in order to counter the upcoming risk. The next point is RBI recorded a surplus of 2,86,000 crore rupees which is basically transferred to the government. That is correct. Domestic asset formed 29.1%. इस क्वेश्चन के बारे में अगर हम बात करें, if I talk about this particular question, if I discuss the asset size of RBI's report or RBI's balance sheet, it basically says that the domestic investment has increased. Domestic investment has witnessed an increase by 44%. Has witnessed an increase by 44%. If I talk about the investment increase in case of gold is 68.3%. These percentages of increase are not very important, but yes, domestic investment, gold investment, foreign investment has increased. But if I talk about the domestic assets of RBI, so the domestic asset of RBI is absolutely correct. So that is 29.1% only. If I talk about the foreign currency, gold, loan advances to the final institutions outside India, they are together of what value? So they are together of a value of 70.9%. So 70.9% में क्या क्या है? So 70.9% में we have gold. In the 70.9% we have foreign currency asset, as well as we have loans and advances given by RBI to the financial institutions outside India. to the financial institutions outside India. They all are included in the category or in the term that is 70.9%. Moving on to the next, RBI has transferred 1,09,000 crore rupees to the Asset Development Fund. No, sir. This year the transfer to the Asset Development Fund is zero. Rather, 1,09,000 crore rupees has been transferred by RBI, has been transferred by RBI into the available realized equity, which includes capital, which include the contingency buffer. And if I talk about this contingency buffer, this is right now 6.5% of the RBI's balance sheet size. That is 6.5% to the RBI's balance sheet size. So keeping that in mind, answer to this particular question is 1, 2, 3 and 4 are the correct answers. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the correct answers. Okay, got it? Moving on to the next. The next question says, which of the following statements regarding RBI's equity buffers and fund management or fund movement is or are correct? So please pay attention. When we talk about RBI has available realized equity. In this available realized equity, we have capital. In this available realized equity, we have reserve funds, as well as with reserve funds, along with the reserve funds, we have the third category, that is contingency fund. That is contingency fund for the buffer part, and the last one is asset development fund. And the last part is asset development fund. If you ask me the values, so the value of capital is 5 crore rupees. The value of reserve fund is 6,500 crore rupees. If you ask me the value of contingency fund, so it is 5,68,333 crore rupees. And if you ask me the asset development fund, so it is around 22,794 crores. तो इसे मैं अगर total करूं, if I add this up, so this total comes out to be 5,92,812 crores, which is called as RBI's available realized equity. So this is correct. The contingency fund is the RBI's primary buffer against the unexpected losses. That is correct. Asset Development Fund was created back in 1997-98. This is correct. It is used for RBI subsidiaries and internal capital expenditure such as technology, buildings and research facilities. And right now, its balance has maintained unchanged because no new provision was made in the 2025-26 and it has been recorded as 22,794 crores. Next is the debit balances in IRAFS, IRARS, FCVA. Can you give me the full form of these terms? Harman, if there was a news regarding the RBI has sold out its gold, RBI has come up with a notification, RBI has given a clarity on the same, जिसमें RBI ने बहुत clearly बोला कि there was a news in the media and this is our data. Under this data we are declaring this is the amount of gold we have. So RBI is an organization जिसके data पे, जिसके facts पे, जिसके figures पे we can trust every time, and RBI has given that proof this time again by challenging the media report with its official data. Okay? Now investment revaluation account. So investment revaluation account. So when we use this word investment revaluation account, we have FS, which stands for foreign securities, Then we have revaluation account rupee securities, as well as we have FCVA, that is foreign exchange, forward contract, valuation account. अब इन तीनों अकाउंट्स का क्या लॉजिक है, इसके बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो सबसे पहले वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द रीवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट. Revaluation accounts basically they capture the unrealized gains or losses arising from the change in market price of assets which are held by RBI. For example, RBI के पास गोल्ड है, so गोल्ड का प्राइस बढ़ गया, there will be an increase in the revaluation account. अगर प्राइस कम हो गया, then there will be a decrease in the revaluation account. But these are unrealized gains, these are unrealized losses. अनरियलाइज क्यों है? जब गोल्ड बेचोगे तो प्रॉफिट होगा, जब गोल्ड बेचोगे तो लॉस होगा. अभी तो गोल्ड उतना ही आपके पास पड़ा है. इट्स जस्ट you are recalibrating the value of gold as per the market price. Now, what is investment revaluation account? Sir, RBI invests a great amount, or I would say a substantial portion of its foreign exchange reserves in the foreign government bonds, as well as in the other foreign securities, So the market value of these securities changes when the interest rate change. So bond price and interest rate, we all know that they are inversely proportional. So therefore, when the interest rate rise in major economies such as United States or maybe Europe, the prices of the existing bonds fall down. So due to that decrease in price of the bonds which are held by RBI, the reserves value, the holding value of RBI decreases, and that decrease is going to be compensated with the help of these accounts. This is for foreign security, this is for rupee security, and this is for foreign exchange forward contract valuation account. RBI frequently enters into the forward contracts which involve foreign currencies. A forward contract basically is an agreement to buy or sell currency at a predetermined exchange rate on a future at a future date which is pre-decided. So the market value of these contracts, they changes continuously depending upon the exchange rate movements, and because of which अगर value change होगी तो उसका जो unrealized gain या loss होगा, that will also reflect under the same account, that is FCVA accounts. So these accounts, they were adjusted against contingency fund as per RBI accountancy policy. बिल्कुल सही है कि सर ये जो contingency fund है उसकी मदद से इन्हें एडजस्ट किया जाता है. These are adjusted on the last working day of the financial year, and from next day onwards it is reset. तो RBI की जो contingency fund balance है, it has now increased from 5,42,000 to 5,68,333 crores. So that is correct. So keeping that in mind, what will be the answer? So the answer to this particular question would be 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. But the question is, so the fifth statement, is it correct or wrong? Fifth statement, is it correct or not? Any idea? Any idea? So that statement is also correct. So keeping that in mind, what will be the correct answer to this particular question? So the correct answer to this particular question would be all the options given are absolutely correct. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया? किसी को कोई डाउट, कोई परेशानी? ठीक है, अब मैं आपको बताऊं इसमें ना एक प्रॉब्लम है, अगर आप उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं. जो टर्म्स मैंने आपके सामने लिखी है स्क्रीन पर, दे आर एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, बट इफ यू रीड द स्टेटमेंट यू विल एनालाइज कि सर यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है, बैलेंस फेल फ्रॉम दिस वैल्यू टू दैट वैल्यू. नो सर, बैलेंस हैज इंक्रीज्ड, it has not fell down. So if it has not fell down, the fifth statement cannot be correct. So answer is going to be A option. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the correct answers. Moving on to the next question. The next question, as per the RBI's annual report 11th chapter, तो RBI के annual report का जो 11th chapter है उसके according this is a question which has been designed for you. M. Rajeshwar Rao has completed his tenure as RBI Deputy Governor in 2025. This is correct. S.C. Murmu took the charge as Deputy Governor in October 2025. That is correct. Anuradha Thakur was nominated as the Director on the Central Board in 2025. That is correct. Rohit Jain took the charge as Deputy Governor in May 2026. That is also correct. So keeping that in mind, sir, all the options are correct. 1, 2, 3 and 5. Okay. What about the fourth statement? Sir, if I talk about the fourth statement, Raj Bhasha Department launched a new Hindi magazine named as Sanchayika on 14th of August 2025. That is also correct. So keeping that in mind, all the given options are correct. So E option is the correct answer. E option is the correct answer. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया पॉइंट, समझ आ गया? If you have any doubt till this point, you may ask please. Otherwise, we will be moving ahead. Any doubt till this point, you may ask please. I will be moving ahead. If it is clear, just give me yes sir. क्वेश्चन एक एक समझते चलना ताकि कोई भी प्रॉब्लम, तो कोई भी एक पॉइंट आपसे मिस ना हो, सो दैट यू कैन रिवाइज द थिंग्स प्रीटी वेल. चलो जी, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. The next question talks about, consider the following statement regarding RBI's communication and international relations during 2025-26. So in terms of RBI communication, sir, RBI has implemented communication policy 3.0 with focus on speed, accuracy, and easy access to information. Is there any kind of initiative which has been taken by RBI? The answer is absolutely correct. So during 2025-26, RBI has implemented communication policy 3.0 in order to increase the speed, accuracy, and easy access to the information. It has strengthened the outreach of RBI, and outreach of RBI has been strengthened with the help of an initiative that is known as RBI not only कहता है, अब RBI ने एक और लॉन्च किया, दैट इज RBI सुनता है. RBI सुनता है, तो ये भी आप याद रखिएगा. सो दिस इज करेक्ट. RBI launched official podcast RBI Talks from Paisa to Policy on 1st of January 2025. This is correct. The first episode was on KYC. This is correct. India took over BRICS chair in 2026 with the theme Building for Resilience, Innovation, Cooperation and Sustainability. What is the theme? So theme is absolutely correct. Right now, India has taken up the chair of BRICS in 2026, and the theme is Building for Resilience, Innovation, Cooperation, as well as Sustainability. Not only this, RBI has also come up with RBI कहता है जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए, where RBI has covered issues such as re-KYC. RBI has covered the issues like unclaimed deposit, digital arrest, coins misinformation, Udgam portal, digital payment awareness week, CBDC, as well as RBI iOS, that is RBI's integrated ombudsman scheme. They all were I would say revised by RBI under जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए. RBI has also released 11 major regional languages. RBI has released its major initiatives under RBI कहता है जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए, under 11 major regional languages apart from Hindi as well as English. ठीक है जी. Next, RBI signed MOU with Bank of Japan on 10th of May 2026. If I talk about these MOUs, the first point is RBI has extended its support to Maldives as well as Bhutan during 2025-26. It has also signed its MOU with France. It has also signed its MOU with European Central Bank. It has also signed the MOU with Bank of Japan, but it is not signed for 10 years, guys. It is signed for 1 year. So answer to this particular question would be B option. This agreement is not signed for 10 years, rather it is signed only for 1 year. So B statement is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. Moving on to the next one. The next point talks about RBI's operational reforms, reserves, stats and legal developments in 2025-26. So RBI ने क्या-क्या reforms लिए with this particular aspect? Please pay attention. With this particular aspect, my answer to this particular question would be continuous clearing in CTS from 4th of October 2025 reduced government check settlement from T+1 to same day. बिल्कुल सर, अब जो आपका check truncation system है that has been reviewed, and under this review now checks are settled down in T+3 hours. That is correct. Centralized inward clearing was implemented from 2nd of March 2026. Centralized inward clearing was implemented from 2nd of March 2026. This is absolutely correct. The foreign exchange reserves increased by 3.4% in 2025-26. If I talk about the foreign exchange reserves, the Department of External Investment and Operation focused on safety, liquidity, stability, and foreign exchange reserves have been increased by 3.4%. RBI has also worked on reserve diversification, credit risk policy, data disclosures, reserve management and whatnot. अगर मैं बात करूं bilateral swap lines की, तो RBI has organized a discussion on bilateral swap lines with Asian Central Bank in October 2025. And there was a conference which was held, Resilient Reserves Anchoring Stability in the Era of Uncertainty, in March 2026. तो ये भी याद रखिएगा. There was a conference which have been organized, I repeat, Resilient Reserves Anchoring Stability in an Era of Uncertainty, that was conducted. In case of Housing Price Index, the Housing Price Index base year has been revised to 2022-23. GDP, GVA, WPI, IIP, all the terms which are mentioned there also, base year has been revised to 2022-23, and this is calculated from, or I would say the housing price index is obtained from 18 major cities. That is correct. RBI has also completed the Central Fraud Registry for urban cooperative banks and NBFCs in CIMS. In 2026-27, DSIM, Department of RBI, plans to review the monetary policy survey, improve the data portal, and migrate CIMS to the new data center, develop a conversational English language query facility and whatnot. Last but not the least, Banking Laws Amendment Act 2025 has received the President's signature or President approval in April 2025. So that is also correct. So keeping that in mind, if you ask me what will be the answer to this particular question, so technically the answer to this particular question is going to be all the statements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are correct. Yes or no? No, sir, that is incorrect, because this act has received our president's signature in 2025, as I said, but it is written 2026. So this is wrong. Answer will be C option. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the correct answers. Got it, guys? Clear है? समझ आ गया? चलो अगले क्वेश्चन की ओर बढ़ते हैं. The next question is now on your screen. The next question is related to monetary policy during 2025-26. So if I talk about the monetary policy during 2025-26, then from February 2025 onwards, RBI is reducing the repo rate, and RBI has reduced the repo rate by 100 basis point. RBI has reduced the CRR by 100 basis point just to support the or just to increase the money supply in the market, just to boost up the money supply in the market. And RBI has earlier moved its stance from neutral to accommodative, and then accommodative to neutral as per the today's monetary policy which has been released by RBI. It's very good for you guys because repo rate has been maintained unchanged, stance has been maintained the same, so you cannot expect many more, or you cannot expect any new surprises in the examination just before the exam due to the monetary policy announcements. ठीक है. अब अगर मुझसे कोई पूछे कि सर ये जो कट हुआ है monetary policy repo rate में, it was cut down in April 2025, then it was reduced in the month of June 2025, then it was reduced in the month of December 2025. तो अगर मैं यहाँ कहूँ तो सर यहाँ कम हुआ था 0.25%, यहाँ 0.50% और यहाँ 0.25%, जिसकी वजह से पूरे साल में जो रेपो रेट कम हुई है वो कितनी हुई है सर? दैट इज 100 बेसिस पॉइंट और 1%. 4% से 3% हो गया आपका CRR. 100 basis point CRR has reduced from September to November 2025. क्वेश्चन पढ़ते हैं. Policy rate was reduced by 100 basis point. This is correct. Policy stance moved from neutral to accommodative and then returned back to neutral in June. Correct. Repo rate was cut by 25 basis point April, 50 basis point June, and 25 basis point December. Correct. 100 basis point suggests staged manner during September to 25. Correct. In 2026, monetary policy cut the repo rate to 5% and changed the stance to accommodative. Nahi sir, फरवरी में ऐसे कोई चेंजेस नहीं किए गए. देयर वर नो बिग चेंजेस डन इन द मंथ ऑफ फरवरी. Is this point correct, everybody? Is this point correct, everybody? So no major changes have been done in February 2026. So the answer to this particular question would be B option. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 are the correct answers. Chalo ji. Moving on to the next question. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? Consider the following statement with about RBI's liquidity transmission and policy framework under the monetary policy itself. So under the monetary policy itself, if I talk more, then RBI's agenda for 2025-26 was focused on four areas. First is review of the monetary policy framework. Second is study of optimal level of system liquidity. Third is spatial and cross-sectional analysis of household consumption expenditure, as well as the fourth one is expansion of credit development data so that we can include housing finance companies. So a discussion paper on the monetary policy framework was released in August 2025, but still RBI is focusing on CPI combined inflation rates in a range of 2 to 6% for 2026 to 2031 as well. Along with that, if I talk about the GDP growth, so GDP growth rate was projected for the entire financial year at 6.5% back in April. Then in June it was revised. Then again it was revised over the period of time. But as per the latest data, it says that according to RBI, India's GDP will grow by 6.9% for the current financial year. Under the liquidity management, RBI used multiple tools like term repo, open market operations, long-term forex swaps, CRR reduction so that RBI can manage the liquidity in the market, as well as RBI has retained WACR, that is weighted average call rate, as the operating target within the symmetric policy corridor of 50 basis point only around the repo rate, which is a good call. A 14-day variable repo as well as reverse repo auctions were discontinued as the main liquidity operation, while the short tenure auctions were used to handle the temporary needs. Remember that 14-day variable rate repo and reverse repo auctions were discontinued. Average daily system liquidity was around 1.86 lakh crore rupees in 2025-26. Standing deposit facility has accounted for 84.9% of the total average LAF absorption of 2.38 lakh crore rupees, which shows that bank they are preferring more interest rather than safety, rather than security. अगर मैं इस पे अब आंसर्स पे जाऊं, average liquidity 1.86 lakh crore correct, standing deposit facility 84.9% correct, weighted average lending rate on fresh rupee has also fell down by 95 basis point due to decrease in repo rate, and outstanding it has decreased by 78 basis point, that is correct. RBI retained WACR operating target within a symmetric corridor of 50 basis point, that is correct. 14-day repo rate and reverse repo rate were discontinued as main liquidity operations. So the answer is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct, but the fifth statement is wrong. समझ आ रही है बातें? अरे भाई मजा आ रहा है? Are you enjoying, guys? Are you guys enjoying? Do reply in the comment section, please. Do reply in the comment section, please. Are you guys enjoying? मजा आ रहा है? Are you in a position to answer the questions pretty well? जो रिवाइज करके आए दे आर एबल टू आंसर, और जिन्होंने रिवाइज नहीं किया, आई एम प्रीटी श्योर दैट यू मस्ट बी लर्निंग न्यू थिंग्स. और अगर आप ध्यान से देखें तो मेरा एजेंडा इन क्वेश्चंस की मदद से आपकी नॉलेज टेस्ट करना नहीं है, लेकिन इन क्वेश्चंस को इस तरह से मैंने फ्रेम किया दैट आई कैन गिव यू मोर एंड मोर इंफॉर्मेशन व्हिच कैन बी यूजफुल फॉर यू, which can be useful for you to retain the content, to retain the data, to retain the understandings, so that you can give the answers in the examination. ठीक है जी, क्लियर है? अगले क्वेश्चन पे बढ़े. लो अगला क्वेश्चन ट्राई करो. Try the next question. Take your time, read the question. Thank you, Deepak. That was the only agenda of spending the entire day in constructing these questions. अगर आप ध्यान से देखो तो मैंने इन questions में important datas को बोल्ड भी किया है। तो आप समझ रहे हैं कि ये बोल्ड करने में भी टाइम लगता है, और ये इसीलिए किया है ताकि यू कैन जब आप इस पीडीएफ को पढ़े, यू विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू रिकॉल द डेटा फॉर योर अपकमिंग एग्जामिनेशन। आई डोंट नो किसने ये समझा था या किसी ने आइडेंटिफाई किया भी था या नहीं, बट दिस हैज बीन डन इंटेंशनली सो दैट यू कैन रिवाइज प्रीटी इजीली विद द हेल्प ऑफ द डेटा गिवन। जल्दी से पढ़ो इस क्वेश्चन को, एंड देन आई विल बी गिविंग यू द आंसर्स एवरीबॉडी। Just give me a second, huh? Okay, चलो अब मैं पढ़ता हूँ एक क्वेश्चन। Sir, if I talk about the first point, the first point is basically related to financial inclusion. Financial inclusion index has been improved to 67 points in March 2025 to 64.2 points in March 2024. That is correct, showing better performance across excess, usage and quality, with especially stronger gains in usage and quality. तो सबसे ज्यादा जो gain हुआ that is in usage and quality. उसके बाद a limit for the collateral free loans to MSME was increased from 10 lakhs to 20 lakh rupees in from 1st of April 2026. This is correct. RBI has also expanded local engagements through MSME town halls as well as district level MSME Samvad meetings. Remember that. Moving to the next point, as of 31st March 2026, 100% coverage under the EDDPE program was achieved in 80% of the districts or 710 districts. This is correct. कोई डाउट नहीं है. EDDPE has already extended to nearly all the districts earlier, and by March 2026, full coverage was achieved in 22 states as well as 8 union territories, and the target is to achieve 100% in 100% districts by March 2027. Scheduled commercial banks, they have achieved 45% of A and BC under priority sector lending. This is correct. RBI has settled down. RBI has settled down 2876 crore rupees of unclaimed deposits under Aapki Poonji Aapka Adhikar during January to March 2026. Aapki Poonji Aapka Adhikar, public sector banks and regional rural banks. I would say RBI has also pushed the financial inclusion campaigns such as Gram Panchayat level saturation of financial inclusion scheme, as well as we have re-KYC, grievance redressal and awareness on the unclaimed deposits. Under the campaign Aapki Poonji Aapka Adhikar, public sector bank and regional rural banks, they have settled 2876 crore rupees. That is correct, but this is from October to December 2025. अब खुद सोचो ना, मार्च का डेटा अभी कहां अपडेट होगा. दिस इज फ्रॉम अक्टूबर टू डिसंबर 2025, नॉट फॉर मार्च. सो दिस इज इनकरेक्ट. आंसर वुड बी बी ऑप्शन. इसके अलावा 2-3 पॉइंट्स हैं विच यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. Credit to MSME has obviously it's increasing. Outstanding MSME credit has witnessed an increase by 23.5%, has increased by 23.5% on year basis at the end of December 2025, which was last year around 18%. The outstanding amount has increased to 36.8 lakh crore rupees. So this is the outstanding credit given by scheduled commercial banks to the MSMEs. इसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें लीड बैंक स्कीम की, right now in India 12 public sector banks and 2 private banks. One is Uh, Jammu and Kashmir Bank. One is Jammu and Kashmir Bank, and the other one we have is ICICI Bank. So these are the 14 banks which are serving as lead banks in different districts, and right now they are serving 778 districts with the lead banks. Why this part is important? Because recently there was a state which was in news for which the newly lead banks have been allocated. Can you name that state? जहां पे नए लीड बैंक स्कीम के तहत दो न्यू डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स को लीड बैंक्स असाइन किए गए बाय आरबीआई. एनी आइडिया गाइस? इफ यू कैन गिव मी द आंसर, गिव मी यस सर. इफ यू कैन गिव मी द आंसर, काइंडली गिव मी द आंसर फॉर दिस. इसके अलावा अगर मैं बात करूं, अंडर द न्यू NSFI 2530 which was formally launched by RBI's governor on 1st of December 2025, it contains 5 strategic objectives. NFSI 2025-2030 includes 5, or it has 5 strategic objectives as well as 47 action points. Telangana, no. I guess it's not Telangana, it's Arunachal Pradesh if I'm not wrong. Check करके बताओ. अरुणाचल प्रदेश if I'm not wrong. चेक करके बताना. अगला पॉइंट है हमारे पास, सर फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी वीक 2026 was celebrated from 9th to 13th of February 2026, and the theme was KYC, your first step to safe banking. KYC, your first step to safe banking. आई होप याद रहेगा. चलो अब सोच लेना, मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में आंसर देना. आई विल बी गिविंग यू द आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन आफ्टर द सेशन. सो आंसर टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन इज बी ऑप्शन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आप अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं. आई हैव गिवन द एंटायर डिस्कशन of this next question here only. Next question को attempt करो. By the time I'll just get some water for myself. I'm pretty sure you will answer the question correctly. चलो देखिए जरा क्या आंसर होना चाहिए. सर NSFI 2025-2030 was launched by Sanjay Malhotra ji on 1st of December with 5 strategic objectives and 47 action plans. Correct. Financial literacy week KYC your first step to safe banking, correct. Outstanding credit has increased to 36.8 lakh crores, correct. The number of operative KYCs have decreased to 11.7%, wrong. At present, 12 public sector banks and 2 private banks have been serving the responsibility of lead banks across 778 districts, that is correct. तो आंसर क्या बनेगा सर? बी ऑप्शन, क्योंकि जो KYC सॉरी जो KCC accounts हैं, their count has been decreased by 11.7% and their outstanding amount has also declined by 4.9%. Has also declined by 4.9%. ठीक है जी, याद रहेगा? नहीं, 778 ओनली, मैंने सही लिखा होगा, ये देखो 778 ही लिखा है, जिसने भी डाउट पूछा था, हश, इट इज 778 ओनली, तो आई गेस इट इज करेक्ट. क्लियर हो गया? चलो, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू द डिपार्टमेंट, वी कॉल इट एज FMRD and the market reforms which have been done. So what is it all about? So Financial Market Regulation Department, that is FMRD, focused on regulation, development and surveillance of money market, government securities, derivatives and foreign exchange market. So it has pushed transparency in unique transaction identifier system, linked foreign exchange retail with Bharat Connect, as well as updated rules for rupee interest rate derivatives, issued directions on UTI in OTC derivatives and whatnot, है ना. उसके बेसिस पे अगर हम आंसर्स पे जाएं, foreign exchange retail was linked with Bharat Connect on 7th of October, this is correct. Directions for UTI in over-the-counter derivatives were addressed on 18th of February 2026, this is also correct. कि भैया अब अगर आप ओवर द काउंटर डेरिवेटिव ट्रेड कर रहे हैं, देन इन दैट केस यू नीड अ यूनिक ट्रांजैक्शन आइडेंटिफिकेशन. द इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑन लीगल एंटिटी आइडेंटिफायर एंड यूटीआई वर मर्ज्ड इनटू सिंगल मास्टर डायरेक्शन लेटर ऑन. ये भी सही है सर, अब इन दोनों को मर्ज करके एक सिंगल मास्टर डायरेक्शन बना दी. ये पॉइंट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. डेट्स भले ना पूछी जाए, लेकिन ये मंथ्स काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, मंथ्स पे क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है. म्युनिसिपल बॉन्ड्स वर मेड eligible collateral for repo transactions. Is it that correct? So yes, municipal bonds, they are now eligible collateral if you are borrowing from RBI against repo rate. That is correct. Trading and guaranteed settlement for foreign exchange forward contract were extended to 13 months. As extended to 13 months. Remember that. So the trading and guaranteed settlement have been extended by RBI. I would say in this context, this is basically surplus balance in the special rupee Vostro account now can be invested in the debt securities, extending forex forward trading and guaranteed settlement up to 36 months. It has now extended up to 36 months and also it has started a pilot project for tokenization of deposits using UMI with settlement in wholesale CBDC. I hope you remember that. ठीक है जी. So answer क्या होगा sir? Answer to this particular question is 1, 2, 3, 4, but the fifth statement is wrong. जिसको नहीं समझ आया दोबारा बताता हूँ. इसे जो forex forward trading and guaranteed settlement है, this has been extended to 36 months, not 13 months. This is correct. Moving on to the next question. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? अगला क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू द सेम चैप्टर बट इन अ न्यू वे. सो अंडर अ न्यू फॉर्मेट, व्हाट डज इट सेज? इट सेज दैट as of May 2026, local currency arrangement existed with UAE, Indonesia, Maldives, Mauritius. Local currency adjustment. So if I talk about local currency adjustment, this is existing in with four countries: UAE, Indonesia, Maldives, Mauritius. That is correct. And SRVA, that is Special Rupee Vostro account, has been opened up by 35 partner countries. That is correct. Between August 2022 to July 2025, compounded annual growth of import invoiced in INR was 20.9% and exports was 12.7%. Is it clear? Is it correct? My answer is absolutely correct, sir. The compounded annual growth rate of imports invoiced in INR have 20%, मतलब हर साल 20% इंक्रीज हो रहा है, और एक्सपोर्ट्स का जो हमारी जो एक्सपोर्ट्स हमने की है उसका जो इनवॉइस है that is also generated in INR, it is also increasing by 12.7% every year. This is what you need to remember. During 2025-26, export settlement in INR has increased by 41.2% and import settlement by 2.7% over the past years. Sir, अगर हम 2025-26 की बात करें, एक्सपोर्ट इनवॉइसिंग, एक्सपोर्ट की जो ओवरऑल इनवॉइसिंग है इन कंपैरिजन टू द प्रीवियस ईयर, इन कंपैरिजन टू द प्रीवियस ईयर, तो अगर मैं प्रीवियस ईयर से कंपेयर करूं, प्रीवियस ईयर से इनवॉइसिंग एंड सेटलमेंट, इनवॉइसिंग की अगर मैं बात करूं, सर इनवॉइसिंग हैज इंक्रीज्ड फॉर एक्सपोर्ट्स, invoicing has increased by 6.5% and settlement has increased by 2.7%. अगर मैं imports की बात करूं तो imports के केस में invoicing has increased by 9.5% and settlement has increased by 41.2%. ठीक है जी, ये डेटा आप याद रखना, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. Next is in November 2025, export value. So export settlement in INR grew by 41.2%. नहीं sir, this is for imports. This is for imports, and import settlement and export settlement by 2.7%. तो ये उल्टा है, so this point is wrong. In November 2025, export value realization and repatriation now increased from 9 to 15 months. This is correct. So answer to this particular question would be B option. That is the correct answer. ठीक है जी, clear हो गया point? I guess it's clear. Moving on to the next point. अगला point देखो. Consider the following statement with respect to RBI's regulation and supervision agenda in 2025-26. अगर मैं RBI के supervision and regulation एजेंडास की बात करूं तो इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें विच हैज बीन डन बाय आरबीआई रिसेंटली. सबसे पहले सर 11,000 मास्टर डायरेक्शंस को, 11,000 आई वुड से इंस्ट्रक्शंस नाउ हैव बीन concluded into 244 master directions. This has been done recently across 11 types of regulated entities. ठीक है, एक तो ये चेंज हुआ है. उसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें अंडर द फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी, तो अंडर द फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी डिपार्टमेंट हैज प्रेजेंटेड इट्स फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट, एंड दिस फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट इज प्रेजेंटेड ट्वाइस अ ईयर. It is presented twice a year and it works with the Financial Stability Development Council subcommittee. In 2025-26, it has pushed 4 work streams and in-house liquidity stress test. तो क्या क्या चीजें हुई है? सब पहला इसमें in-house stress test for NBFCs. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपको याद रखना. दूसरी जो चीज है, जो एक आप कह सकते हो कि मेजर वर्क स्ट्रीम्स है which have been done by RBI, that is possible macro stress test for tier 3 and tier 4 urban cooperative banks. Next would be climate transition risk assessment. Climate transition risk assessment. उसके अलावा अगर मैं फोर्थ पे हूं, लेट मी रिमूव माय इमेज. द फोर्थ पॉइंट इज, और द फोर्थ आई वुड से द मेजर वर्क स्ट्रीम इज ग्रोथ एट रिस्क मॉडल. तो ये आपको याद रखना. दीज आर दी some of the initiatives taken up by Financial Stability Department, which is responsible for Financial Stability Report. ठीक है, NBFC liquidity stress test is at an advanced stage. Urban cooperative वाला अभी explore हो रहा है. Climate transition risk were assessed using scope 1 emission data and growth at risk model was built using IMF framework. ठीक है, तो these are the points which you need to remember. अब मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ता हूँ. इस क्वेश्चन में कुछ ऐसे प्रोविजंस पे बात नहीं हुई है, ठीक है, तो कुछ और बातें कर लेते हैं जो मुझे याद आ रही है. अगली बात जो मुझे याद आ रही है इस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर से रिलेटेड, अगली बात जो मुझे याद आ रही है इस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर से रिलेटेड वो ये है सर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेगुलेशन. अगर मैं डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेगुलेशन की बात करूं, इट रिमेन द नोडल रेगुलेटर, इट रिमेन द नोडल रेगुलेटर फॉर कमर्शियल बैंक्स, कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स, NBFCs, credit information companies, as well as all India financial institutes. And if I talk about its agendas were asset classification, provisioning reforms, non-fund based facility, co-lending, securitization, and whatnot. So, at a major outcome was the final Reserve Bank of India's Reserve Bank of India's commercial bank asset classification, provisioning, and income recognition direction 2026, which has been launched. अब उसके बेसिस पे क्वेश्चन है, RBI issued the final commercial bank asset classification, provisioning, and income recognition 2026 in 2020 April 2026. That is correct. डेट नहीं भी याद होगी तो भी चलेगा. Co-lending framework was expanded from priority sector lending loan to all loans. कि भैया जो पहले co-lending framework सिर्फ और सिर्फ priority sector loans के लिए अलाउड था, अब उसे सब loans के लिए अलाउ कर दिया. That is correct. And the minimum retained share was reduced from 20% to 10%. This is correct. The final Basel III standard credit risk directions will be effective from 1st of April 2027. From 1st of April 2027. Any idea guys? इस पे अगर मैं आऊं तो उसमें हम आने से पहले यहाँ पे आपको याद होगा EIR, effective interest rate, I hope you remember. Then expected credit loss, I hope you remember. उसके साथ साथ you remember the stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3 of the asset on the basis of which the reserves are or the provisions are need to be done. इसके अलावा अगर हम यहाँ पे बात करें सर, जो आप गारंटी दे सकते हैं, that guarantee would be of 5%. That is default guarantee can be provided for 5 by equal to 5% by a member. That is also important. Basel 3 की अगर हम बात करें तो Basel 3 का जो फाइनल स्टैंडर्डाइज अप्रोच फॉर क्रेडिट रिस्क है, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी इंप्लीमेंटेड फ्रॉम 1st April 2027. अगर आपको याद हो, हमने पढ़ा था कि अब यू वोंट बी कैलकुलेटिंग द रिस्क ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर लोन, रादर यू विल बी गोइंग विद द स्टैंडर्ड अप्रोच. उस स्टैंडर्ड अप्रोच के अकॉर्डिंग जो भी कैटेगरी में वो रिस्क फॉल करेगा, उस कैटेगरी के अगेंस्ट जितना परसेंटेज ऑफ रिजर्व्स रिक्वायर्ड है, यू विल बी मेंटेनिंग दोज रिजर्व्स ओनली. RBI issued the final digital lending directions for 2025 on 8th of May 2025. What is it? Sir, basically complete digital view of matched loan offers with standardized disclosures plus public directory of digital lending apps to help borrowers to verify the app as well as avoid the unauthorized lending. So that has been announced. तो RBI ने बहुत क्लियरली कहा कि एक complete digital view चाहिए इसका मैच लोन ऑफर्स का विद स्टैंडर्ड डिस्क्लोजर्स, और उसके साथ साथ एक पब्लिक डायरेक्टरी चाहिए ऑफ डिजिटल लेंडिंग एप्स सो दैट पब्लिक इज वेरी वेल अवेयर ऑफ दीज एप्स. दैट इज करेक्ट. RBI retained the old rule that prepayment charges continued on specified floating rate loans to individuals as well as MSMEs. तो मैं अगर यहां पे कहूं तो सर, if you are borrowing from a bank and it's a floating loan, and in case of a floating loan there will be no prepayment charges are going to be charged if the loan is borrowed by an individual or by an MSME in most of the cases. But कुछ ऐसी specific conditions है जहां पे ये involve होगा. So that will be RBI retained the old rule that prepayment charges continued. नहीं सर, इंडिविजुअल के केस में तो जीरो कर दिया, MSME के केस में भी कुछ कंडीशन है. दैट कंडीशन इज ऑल्सो related to the specific types of banks like small finance bank, RRBs, urban cooperative banks. They are still having the power to charge penalty, keeping in mind if the loan is above 50 lakh, then they can charge the penalty, not below that. So in that case, it is allowed. So answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, but fifth statement is wrong. अब अगर हम देखें तो obviously We will take it in this manner that it has been removed. It is not retained, rather it has been removed. Going to the next question. RBI FinTech and Innovation work during the 2025-26 is user level programmability was introduced in retail CBDC, allowing programmable transfers between the users. Beam was enabled to discover existing CBDC wallets. ULI crossed 9.6 crore API hits by 31st March 2026. Mule Hunter was implemented in 26 banks. RBI's CAT Sandbox and UMI were launched during the Global FinTech Festival 2024. बताओ जरा इस क्वेश्चन का क्या आंसर होगा? What will be the answer to this particular question? So the answer to this particular question is, first statement is absolutely correct. User level programmability was introduced, correct. Beam was enabled to discover existing CBDC wallet, correct. ULI अभी तक 9.6 crore, correct. Mule Hunter 26 banks, correct. RBI's CAT Sandbox की अगर मैं बात करूं, that is CBDC and Asset Tokenization Sandbox, and UMI, that is Unified Market Interface, was launched during the Global FinTech Festival, which was conducted or which was organized in 2025. ये पॉइंट सही है. ग्लोबल फिनटेक फेस्टिवल तक ठीक है, लेकिन ईयर इज 2025. सो इट्स जस्ट, ये इंफॉर्मेशन मैंने आपको सही देनी थी, लेकिन उस इंफॉर्मेशन को ऐड करने के लिए और कोई मेरे पास चारा नहीं था, तो मैंने सिली सा पॉइंट बना दिया. बट ठीक है, it will be a revision as well and it will be a question as well. I hope it is clear. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement with respect to RBI has issued Reserve Bank of India Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2026 in January 2026. That is correct. Internal Ombudsman Scheme was also introduced in January 2026. That is correct. Central and state cooperative banks, they were brought under RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme from 1st of November 2025. Is this point correct, guys? ऐसा कोई point था क्या? ऐसा कोई point था? Any idea? क्या ऐसा कोई point था? Say yes or no. सोचो एक बार. So this is absolutely correct. इसमें कोई problem नहीं है. Central and state cooperative banks, they are now also included under the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme from November 2025. RBI launched one-year scheme to accelerate payouts from inoperative accounts and unclaimed deposits from October 2025 to 30th of September 2026. This is also correct. लेकिन question ये है कि सर ये जो एक साल लंबा RBI ने initiative लिया, what is the name of this initiative? Was there any name of this particular campaign? Was there any name defined by RBI for this particular campaign? Any idea? Any idea, anybody? Socho. Next is RBI kept the older complaint framework unchanged. No sir, this is wrong. RBI has now removed or updated the older complaint framework to a new one, that is CMS 2.0. This is correct. So answer is going to be B option. 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. That is correct. My question is very obvious, guys. My question is, ये जो एक साल का कैंपेन था, इस एक साल के कैंपेन का क्या कोई नाम था? Was there any name of this 1 year campaign? Any idea? आपका अधिकार, आपकी पूंजी, आपकी पूंजी, आपका अधिकार इज करेक्ट. दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. तो ये पॉइंट बिल्कुल सही है. तो इसके हिसाब से अगर हम चलें, बी स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट वन. अगला देखो. सो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिटेल was linked with Bharat Connect. This is correct. Initially allowing individuals to buy US dollars. Correct. Directions mandating unique transaction identification or identifier for OTC derivative transactions were issued in February 2026. This is correct. Trading and guaranteed settlement contracts were extended to 36 months. Correct. RBI allowed authorized dealers to lend INR to non-residents in selected jurisdictions for cross-border trade transactions. RBI kept the old liquidity framework unchanged and did not revise it from 30th of September 2025. तो इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्या होगा? सर दीज फोर स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट, जैसे कि समझ आ रहा है, लेकिन आरबीआई ने अपनी ओल्ड लिक्विडिटी फ्रेमवर्क को रिवाइज कर दिया. नाउ दिस ओल्ड लिक्विडिटी फ्रेमवर्क हैज बीन रिवाइज एंड द न्यू लिक्विडिटी फ्रेमवर्क हैज बीन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम 30th of September 2025. फ्रॉम 30th of September 2025. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया पॉइंट, समझ आ गया. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है सर? आरबीआई हैज इम्पोज्ड 241 पेनल्टीज aggregating 26.33 crores. Is it correct? So this is word by word correct. 342 show cause notice covering 698 charges were issued for those penalties. ये वाला पॉइंट मैंने बस इसलिए लिखा है कि ऐसे डेटा को आपको याद नहीं करना. Just you have to remember first data, that is more important. वैसे it is correct. DICGC deposit insurance cover remained 5 lakh rupees per depositor per bank. Correct. DICGC deposit insurance fund at 2,61,000 crore rupees. If I talk about the funds of DICGC, so in that particular case, it says the deposit insurance fund stood at a value of 2,61,000 crores. It is correct. Deposit insurance premium received was 29,947 crores. 29,947 crores, not 2,994 crores. So this is wrong. Keeping that in mind, B statement is correct. इसके अलावा दो तीन चीजें और है जो मैं यहाँ पे ऐड करना चाहूंगा. एक चीज, अगर हमसे कोई पूछे फुली इंश्योर्ड डिपॉजिट्स, तो फुली इंश्योर्ड डिपॉजिट्स की अगर हम बात करें तो फुली इंश्योर्ड डिपॉजिट्स आर 291.4 crore deposits are fully insured. So number of deposits which are fully insured, मतलब जिनका डिपॉजिट 5 लाख से कम है, that is 291.4 crores. Insured deposits की अगर हम बात करें, that is 291.4 crores. It is important, remember that. DICGC claim has been provided on regular basis, and this has been implemented. Along with that, risk-based premium framework has been introduced from 1st of April 2026, जहां पे ये कहा गया कि आपका जो प्रीमियम है that will be either 8 पैसा, 10 पैसा, 11 पैसा और 12 पैसा depending upon the risk of the bank. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया पॉइंट. ओके, मूविंग ऑन टू द अगला क्वेश्चन. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज gross market borrowing of Government of India to dated securities has increased to a value of 14 lakh crore rupees. Is it correct? अगर हम बात करें Government of India की, so Government of India, it's whenever it is in need of funds, it borrow the funds from the public by issuing the government securities, and now these government securities, they have increased by 4.3%, due to which the outstanding, or I would say the Government of India's dated securities have increased to a value of 14.61 lakh crore rupees. That is absolutely correct. Next is the net market borrowing through dated securities fell down to 11.33 lakh crores in 2025-26. अब इन दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है, इस पॉइंट को समझते हैं ध्यान से. प्लीज पे अटेंशन. On the central government borrowing, the gross market borrowing through dated securities, gross market मतलब टोटल जो आप पैसा बोरो कर रहे हैं, that has increased to 14.61 lakh crore rupees. However, the net market borrowing का मतलब amount borrowed minus amount paid, this net market borrowing has fell down by 2.6% to a value of 11.33 crores. This is correct. Government security yield steepened during the year. This is correct कि जो आपकी government security का yield है, that was steepened during the year. This is absolutely correct. उसके बाद about 50.9% of market borrowings were through securities with maturity of 10 years एंड अबव। तो आरबीआई से जो बोरिंग हो रही है, गवर्नमेंट जो बोरिंग कर रहा है थ्रू आरबीआई, उसके बदले में public is purchasing the government securities, and the public is purchasing, or the total borrowing is done around 51% from 10 years or above maturity or matured or maturity government securities. Treasury bills net short term issuance was 81,281 crores. If I talk about the treasury bill net short term issuance, net short term issuance was net short term issuance was minus 48,672 crore rupees, which means net issuance, or I would say why it is negative, because issuance is less than purchase back. Issuance is less than purchase back. So this is, but ये जो data दिया, so this data is 24-25 and this data is what, 2025-26. So this is wrong. Answer is going to be again B option. 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया। चल अगले क्वेश्चन पे बढ़े। अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है, कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट। अगर मैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की हालत देखूं तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की क्या हालत है। स्टेट्स दे हैव रेज्ड, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स पे जाने से पहले ना मेरे दिमाग में एक चीज आ रही है, दैट इज जो मैं आपके साथ डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा, दैट इज रिलेटेड टू प्राइमरी डीलर्स। सो इंडिया हैड 21 प्राइमरी डीलर्स, 14 were the banks acting as primary dealers, as well as 7 stand-alone primary dealers. The underwriting commission which has been paid to these primary dealers has also increased, as well as primary dealers, they have received 76.1% of treasury bills allotment. So they have received 76.1% of ट्रेजरी बिल्स इशुएंस। ये एक पॉइंट है जो आपको याद रखना। उसके बाद अगर हम बात करें अंडर द फ्लोटिंग रेट सेविंग बॉन्ड स्कीम, आरबीआई हैज आल्सो रेज्ड अराउंड 12,000 crore rupees from the newly launched or from the newly revised floating rate saving bond which we have discussed in much detail. उसके अलावा अगर मैं बात करूं वेज एंड मीन्स एडवांसेस के लिए फॉर 2025-26 फर्स्ट हाफ, the limit is 2,50,000 crore rupees. This is something which you need to remember. ठीक है, इसके अलावा कुछ और ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है। Coming back to the question, states they have raised 12.76 lakh crore rupees. That is absolutely correct. तो अगर मैं बात करूं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डेट मार्केट बोरोइंग फाइनेंस्ड 76.3% of state's fiscal deficit is financed by market borrowings. This is something which you need to remember. ठीक है, इसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें, इसके अलावा अगला पॉइंट क्या कहता है, so the next point says states they have borrowed 12.76 lakh crore rupees through the state government securities. This is correct. The weighted average cutoff yield for the state government borrowings has increased to 7.32%. This is correct. Earlier क्या था, it was 7.20%. Data important. The weighted average spread over the central government securities widened to 50 basis points. The spread over central government or the central government securities has widened to 50 basis points. That is correct. Outstanding state debt has increased to 73.3 lakh crore rupees. If I talk about the total outstanding, it has increased to 73.03 lakh crores. That is correct. Net borrowing this year was 9.04 lakh crores. Net borrowing was 9.04 lakh crores. Gross borrowing is 12.76. Total outstanding is 73.03 lakh crores. Investment in the consolidated sinking fund fell to 2,40,000 crores. Any idea about this? Then the answer is a state investment in RBI managed reserve funds also increased. Investment in the 14-day treasury bills has also increased, while auction treasury bills they stood bit low. Investment in the consolidated sinking fund has increased to 2,66,000 crore rupees. The guarantee redemption fund has witnessed an increase. Budget stabilization fund has also witnessed an increase. So this is also it has fell down. No, sir, it has not fell down. Rather, it has increased. Rather, it has increased. So keeping that in mind, what will be the answer? So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4 is correct. Fifth statement is wrong. Data correct है लेकिन वो decrease नहीं हुआ. It has rather increased. Moving on to the next. Consider the following statement regarding the RBI's currency management in 2025-26. Banknotes in circulation have increased by 11.9% in value and 10.5% in volume. And 10.5% in volume. Is it correct? Is it correct? Any idea, guys? The answer to this particular question is absolutely correct. As of 31st March 2026, banknotes in circulation stood at 17 lakh 13,215 lakh pieces worth 41.23 lakh crore rupees. That is correct. 500 notes had the largest share in volume terms. 500 rupee notes has the largest share in volume terms. In volume terms, 500 share notes were largest, and it was followed by 10 rupees. Correct. RBI said 98.45% of 3.56 lakh crore withdrawn 2000 notes has returned by March 2026. Correct. Exchange and deposit facility for 2000 notes were available only through India Post, not at RBI issue offices. This is incorrect, guys. Exchange and deposit facility was available at 19 RBI issue offices. At 19 RBI issue offices, and notes could be sent through post as well. Through India Post as well. ठीक है, तो ये गलत हो गया फिफ्थ स्टेटमेंट, बाकी सारे करेक्ट है. सो बी ऑप्शन इज द करेक्ट आंसर. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट वन. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? एक सेकंड, उसका आंसर विजिबल है, बस एक सेकंड देना. हाँ जी. The next question says the value of coins in circulation has increased by 11.4% and volume by 4.5%. This is correct. As of 31st March, 1 to 5 coins together accounted for 80.7% of the volume and value. Correct. The value of e-rupee in circulation was 771 crore rupees on 31st March 2026. This is correct. Counterfeit notes in rupees 20 and 500 denominations were increased by 47.4% and 20.5%. Counterfeit notes 20 रुपए के जो नोट्स हैं उनमें 47.4% इंक्रीज हुआ और 500 में 20% का इंक्रीज हुआ है. आरबीआई प्लान्स टू रिड्यूस बैंक नोट्स प्रोसेसिंग कैपेसिटी एंड क्लोज ऑल एग्जिस्टिंग इशू ऑफिसेज. नहीं सर, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आरबीआई इज प्लानिंग to increase processing capacity, improve existing issue offices and open 2 new offices. ये भी याद रखना, अगर क्वेश्चन आया then you will be in a position to answer it for sure. अगले क्वेश्चन पे बढ़ते हैं. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो सर. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू आरबीआई's डिजिटल पेमेंट एंड पेमेंट विजन 2028. Payment Vision 2028 was released in March, covers the roadmap for digital payment till December 2028. Till December 2028, absolutely correct. UPI transaction volume increased from 18.59 lakh crores in 2024-25 to 24.16 lakh crore. This is correct. Or per RTGS in terms of volume is 0.1%. In terms of value, it is 65% and more, greater than 65%. तो ये आपको याद रखना. RBI conducted nationwide survey of more than 30,000 users and 10,000 merchants on digital payments. Correct. Digital payment index fell from, no sir, digital payment has not fell, rather it has increased. From 5.1, or I would say rather it has increased to 516.76 in March 2026 to 445.50 in September in September 2025. नहीं यार, ये गलत ही है, पूरा ही गलत है, हो नहीं पाएगा ठीक। इसको मैं ऐसा कर देता हूँ, it is 516.76 September 2025 and 445 in March 2025। ठीक है जी, ऐसे याद रख लेना। सो द आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी 1 2 3 4 आर करेक्ट। अगला क्वेश्चन देखो। Consider the following statement regarding the payment infrastructure, governance, and technology upgrades. Continuous check clearing and settlement under the CTS began from 4th of October, correct? Under new CTS system, bank must credit customers' account within 1 hour of the settlement, absolutely correct. Payment Regulatory Board has replaced BPSS, correct? By March 2026, all public sector banks, private banks, small finance banks, payment banks, they had migrated to .bank.in. This is correct. RBI launched the beta phase of IFS Cloud with 19 entities onboarded. This is wrong, sir. The entities which are onboarded are 9. The entities which are onboarded are 9. So answer to this particular question is going to be B option. ठीक है जी, clear है? अगला question पढ़ो and try to give me the answer. Read the next question and try to give me the answer. चलो देखते हैं। Consider the following statement with respect to the global economic outlook. IMF's April 2026 World Economic Outlook project global growth at 3.1% in 2026 and 3.2% in 2027. This is absolutely correct. IMF expects global headline inflation to increase to 4.4%, correct? WTO says world goods and services trade grew by 4.7% in 2025, above the world gross domestic growth of 2.9%, correct? WTO baseline project merchandise trade volume growth is slowed down to 1.9%. This is correct. World Trade Organization WTO baseline project services trade volume growth to accelerate to 5.1%. नहीं sir, this is wrong. क्या क्या points है? पहला, WTO's March 2026 outlook says that world goods and services trade grew 4.7% in 2025. This is correct. Merchandise trade growth slowed down to 1.9% in 2026. This is correct. WTO projects service trade volume to accelerate to 4.8% in 2026. 4.8% in 2026, not 5.1%. 5.1% is the figure for 5.1% is the figure for 2027, not for 2026. So this is something which you need to remember. B option is the correct answer. Moving on to the next one. Consider the following statement with respect to India's economy in 2025-26. India recorded real GDP growth of 7.6% in 2025-26. This is correct. Net exports reduced by only 0.1%, correct. Agriculture and allied services have witnessed a growth of 4.2%. No, sir, this is wrong. They have witnessed a growth of 2.4%, not 4.2%. Services contributed around 69% of real gross value addition, correct. Manufacturing growth witnessed 11.5%, correct. So answer would be 1, 2, 4 and 5. That means B option is correct. Agriculture sector में growth है, लेकिन वो growth percentage कितना है? So that is 2.4% only. अगला, the next is growth in real GVA of agriculture and allied activities decelerated to 2.4%. Decelerated to 2.4%. Is it correct? Is it correct? This is correct. This is correct. कि सर जो growth है, it has now decreased to 2.4%, correct. Food grain and horticulture production reached record levels. Yes, sir. Food grain and horticulture production is high. India ranked third globally in installed renewable energy capacity, correct. India installed non-fossil fuel capacity stood at 283.5 gigawatts as of 31st March, correct. Electric vehicle sales around 2.5 lakh, नहीं sir, electric vehicles का जो unit sale हुए, that is 25 lakh units have been sold in 2025-26. So answer is going to be 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means T statement is correct, but the fifth statement is wrong. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया. अगला पॉइंट देखो. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? द ग्रॉस फिस्कल डेफिसिट ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट stood at 4.4% of GDP in financial year 2025-26, which is the revised estimate. That is correct. कल भी बताया था, परसों भी बताया था. अब मुझे लगता है कि ये आप गलत करोगे. This is going to be correct for sure. Now the second point is the reduction in the deficit was supported by lower revenue expenditure and higher revenue receipts. नहीं सर, अगर हम इस पॉइंट को बहुत ध्यान से देखें, फिस्कल इंप्रूवमेंट क्यों हुआ? सर फिस्कल इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ दो तरह से. पहला पॉइंट ये है कि सर जो आपके नेशन का फिस्कल रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर है, दैट हैज डिक्रीज्ड. ऑन द अदर साइड द रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर हैज इंक्रीज्ड. दिस इज करेक्ट एज पर आरबीआई रिपोर्ट. RBI cut the policy rate by 100 basis point, maintained neutral stance, correct. Weighted average call rate stayed on an average 7 basis point below the repo rate, that is correct. Headline inflation has increased to 4.6%. Has increased to 4.6%. नहीं सर, headline inflation इतनी ज़्यादा कहाँ है? Headline inflation तो बहुत कम थी. Sir, it was around 2.1% for the entire financial year 2021-2025-26. तो अगर हमसे कोई पूछे headline inflation और CPI combined inflation, it was what? Sir, it was 2.1% for the entire financial year, that is 2025-26. क्लियर हो गया जी पॉइंट. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. अगला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है? RBI has projected that India will grow at a rate of 6.9% in 2026-27. Absolutely correct. The Union government has fixed the gross fiscal deficit target at 4.3% for 2026-27. That is correct. Inflation tolerance is 2 to 6% from 2026 to 2031. That is correct. India AI mission launched in March 2024 with an outlay of 10,000 crores. That is correct. Inflation in 2026-27 is expected to below 2%. No, sir, no. It is expected to be around 4.6%. It is expected to be around 4.6%. So answer to this particular question is the A option. ठीक है जी, क्लियर है. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. Consider the following statement with respect to Indian economy. So GDP at constant price grew by 7.6% in 2025-26. Correct. Private final consumption expenditure grew by 7.7% due to partly by income tax cut and GST rationalization. That is correct. Gross fixed capital formation grew by 6.4% in 2025-26, while the investment rate increased to 35.3% of the GDP. Is it correct? No, sir, this is wrong. दिस इज रॉन्ग। क्या गलती है इसमें, देखना ध्यान से। सो ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन इज 7.1% and investment rate increased to 34.3% of GDP. Investment rate increased to 34.3% of GDP. Next is gross domestic saving increased to 34.2% of GNDI in 2024-25, and net household saving has increased to 7% of GNDI. Is it correct? सर अगर मैं ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक सेविंग की बात करूं तो ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक सेविंग इज 34% और हाउस होल्ड की सेविंग इज 7%। दिस इज करेक्ट। मुझे आप बताओगे व्हाट इज दिस ग्रॉस एनडीआई? दिस इज नेट डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, कि आपकी जो नेट डिस्पोजेबल इनकम है उसका 34.2% सेविंग में जा रहा है, और जो नेट हाउस होल्ड सेविंग है दैट इज 7% ऑफ द ग्रॉस net disposable income. Saving investment gap has widened, making India more dependent on external capital in 2024-25. नहीं सर, ये तो बिल्कुल incorrect है। Saving and investment gap in India has narrowed, जितना सेव हो रहा है उतना ही इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रहा है, which reduced its dependency on the external capital. So keeping that in mind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 is correct, 2 is correct, fourth is correct. So answer is going to be 1, 2 and 4. So A option is the correct answer. 1, 2, 4 are the correct answers for the given one. अगला question देखो. Consider the following statement with respect to aggregate supply conditions in the country. If I talk about the aggregate supply conditions in the country, real GVA grew by 7.7% in the financial year. This is correct. Gross value addition has increased by 7.7%. लेकिन अगर हमसे कोई पूछे GDP, it has increased by 7.6%. Agriculture growth accelerated significantly due to favorable monsoon conditions. सर आप कहो कि it has accelerated significantly, नहीं, rather agriculture growth was moderate. It was moderate. Industrial GVA grew by 9.5% and manufacturing contribute 80% of this sector. This is correct. Renewable energy capacity 283 gigawatts accounted for over 50% of the total installed capacity. तो मैं कहूंगा सर it is exactly 53.2%, और हमने जो टारगेट सेट किया था COP 26 के पास, that has been achieved early. भैया हमारा 50% will come from renewable source of energy. Service sector composite index improved continuously throughout all the quarters of 2025-26. सर अगर मैं बात करूं सर्विस सेक्टर की, तो सर सर्विस सेक्टर हर एक क्वार्टर में इंप्रूव नहीं हुआ, रादर इट गॉट मॉडरेटेड इन मार्च 2026. मार्च 2026 में ये इंक्रीज होने की बजाय इट डिक्रीज, इट गॉट मॉडरेटेड. सो दिस इज रॉन्ग. तो आंसर क्या बनेगा सर? 1, 3 and 4. सॉरी, 1, 3 and 4 का मतलब आंसर क्या होगा? दैट इज बी स्टेटमेंट इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया. मूविंग ऑन टू द अगला क्वेश्चन. The next question is following statement with respect to agriculture, industry, labor, market trends. Food, grain and horticulture production both reached record levels high. This is correct. MSP ensured at least 50% return over cost of production for the major crop. That is correct, because MSP is always greater than or equals to 50% return over cost. Next is industrial output remained weak throughout the year due to mining slowdown. नहीं sir, industrial output has rather recovered. It has rather recovered. It was not slow. So this is wrong. The PLI scheme generated around 20.4 lakh crore rupees of output and more than 14.4 lakh jobs. This is correct. The share of self-employment increased while regular salaried employment declined. This is correct. No sir, this is wrong. The trend is self-employment का जो शेयर है that has decreased, और regular employees का जो शेयर है that is increased. So it is opposite. So answer will be what? Sir, answer will be 1, 2 and 4. That is A option is the correct answer. That means A option is the correct answer. Is it clear? Very good destination. You have identified it correct. Moving on to the next one. Consider the following statement regarding the inflation and CPI changes in 2025-26. तो अगर मैं हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन की बात करूं, हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन डिक्लाइन टू 2.1% in current financial year, correct. CPI base year has been revised to 2024. This is correct. Under the new CPI series, the weight of food and beverages increased to reflect higher food consumptions. सर नहीं, अगर मैं बात करूं under the newly accounted CPI series, the weightage of food and beverages have decreased. It has decreased. Earlier, its weightage was 45.9%, and from 45.9%, it has decreased to 36.8%. This is what you need to remember. Fuel inflation turned positive mainly due to the LPG hikes in April 2025 and March 2026. तो अगर हम एलपीजी प्राइसेस की बात करें तो एलपीजी प्राइस पहले अप्रैल में इंक्रीज हुए थे, फिर वो मार्च में इंक्रीज हुए 25 में और 26 में. दैट इज करेक्ट. कोर इन्फ्लेशन रिमेन्ड कंप्लीटली स्टेबल throughout the financial year. No sir, they were not. Core inflation was not stable, rather it was influenced by the precious metals. Due to the change in price or due to the increase in price of gold, the core inflation has also changed. अगर गोल्ड के प्राइसेस या प्रीशियस मेटल के प्राइसेस हटा देते तो ये स्टेबल रहता. दैट इज करेक्ट. सो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी ए ऑप्शन. 1, 2 and 4 आर द करेक्ट आंसर्स. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. रिजर्व मनी ग्रोथ accelerated to 10.8% mainly due to CRR hikes and increase in bankers deposit. अगर मैं रिजर्व मनी की बात करूं, the reserve money has increased to 10.8%, but it is due to revaluation gains. It is not because of CRR. This is wrong. ये यहां तक सही है, but it is not due to CRR. Rather it is because of gold and rupee. गोल्ड के प्राइस इंक्रीज हुए, गोल्ड प्राइस इंक्रीज्ड, रुपी डेप्रिशिएटेड, जिसकी वजह से जो रिजर्व मनी है दैट हैज इंक्रीज. सीआरआर तो हमने कम किया ना, सीआरआर वाज डिक्रीज्ड. तो अगर सीआरआर कम किया तो उसकी वजह से रिजर्व मनी तब बढ़ता जब सीआरआर बढ़ाया जाता. सीआरआर बढ़ाया नहीं तो रिजर्व मनी बढ़ेगा कैसे? दैट इज रॉन्ग. Currency in circulation accounted for more than 80% of the reserve money. That is correct. अगर मैं बात करूं इस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट की, तो ये पॉइंट क्या कहता है? करेंसी इन सर्कुलेशन हैज अकाउंटेड फॉर मोर देन 80% ऑफ द रिजर्व मनी एंड ग्रू ओवर 11%. अगर हम बात करें, इट हैज इंक्रीज्ड ओवर 11%. दिस इज करेक्ट. ब्रॉड मनी ग्रोथ increased to 13%. Correct. Currency deposit ratio declined, reflecting a shift towards digital payments. अगर हम बात करते हैं aggregate deposits की, तो in that particular case aggregate deposits were 86.6%. and if I talk about the currency to deposit ratio, it has declined from 15.4% to 14.9%. तो 14.9% is the ratio, currency to deposit ratio, and it has declined. It basically indicates digital payment shift. That is correct. Credit growth exceeds deposit growth. Credit growth ज़्यादा है in comparison to deposit growth. Yes, जिसकी वजह से banks they are using more of certificate of deposit. That is also correct. So keeping that in mind, second, third, fourth and fifth statements are correct. That means A statement is the correct answer. अगला है, consider the following statement with respect to financial market. The weighted average call rate remained above the policy rate on average due to tight liquidity conditions. तो अगर हम बात करें weighted average call rate की, sir it was above the repo rate. No sir, it was below the repo rate. It was below the repo rate, and that too by 7 basis point, which means 0.07%. It was below. अगर अब ऊपर होता तो भैया आरबीआई एडजस्ट करता ना रेपो रेट को, तो नीचे है. दैट इज अ पॉइंट. सेकेंड इज short term and medium term yields softened due to monetary easing. Short term and medium term yield has decreased due to monetary easing. That is correct. While the long term yields remain broadly range bound. तो बिल्कुल सर वो रेंज के पे ऊपर डिपेंड कर रहे हैं, जितना ज्यादा रेंज उतना ज्यादा yield. Next is private placement accounted for nearly all corporate bond issuance in the domestic market. 99% of corporate bonds, they were issued via private placement rather than going public, rather than issuing to the public. Foreign portfolio investments were not foreign portfolio investors were net buyers in equity market. अगर मैं बात करूं foreign portfolio investors की, sellers they were net sellers in equity market. They were net sellers in equity market, while the domestic institutional investors, they were net buyers, जिन्होंने हमें बचाया, वरना हम तो फेल हो जाते, इकोनॉमी फेल हो जाती. They were the net buyers in the economy. So this is wrong. Indian rupee depreciated during the year due to factors such as trade deficit, geopolitical tensions, capital outflow. तो अगर हम बात करें रुपी depreciated because of trade deficit, geopolitical tensions, FPI outflows, strong US dollars, that is correct. So answer क्या बनेगा सर? Second, third and fifth are the correct answers. A option is the correct answer. अगला क्वेश्चन देखो. Consider the following statement regarding the government finances in 2025-26 and 2026-27. तो क्या आंसर होगा? The gross fiscal deficit of the central government is estimated 4.4% and 4.3%. Correct. Capital expenditure is projected to increase in absolute terms but remain at around 3.1% of the GDP. So absolute terms में it will increase, and it will increase to around 12.2 lakh crores for the upcoming years, or for the current financial year, for the budget which has been presented, and 3.1% of GDP is correct. Non-tax revenue declined in 2025-26. This is wrong. So non-tax revenue has rather increased in 2025-26. Total जो non-tax revenue इकट्ठा हुआ, that is 6.7 lakh crores, and it has increased by 24.4%. It has increased by 24.4%. 16th Finance Commission retained the share at 41%. Introduced state contribution to GDP as a new criteria in devolution formula. That is correct. State GDP contribution, उसका weightage है 10%. एक नया parameter add किया, that is correct. Revenue deficit grant has been increased to support fiscally stressed states and improve their spending capacity. So this is wrong. Revenue deficit grants are discontinued, rather they are not increased. These are discontinued. These are discontinued, they are not increased. So answer will be 1, 2 and 4 are correct. So A option is the correct answer for the given one. अगला question देखो. The next question talks about RBI's letter of transmittal. So if I talk about the RBI's letter of transmittal, जो RBI एक letter देता है जिससे ये पता चलता है कि RBI अपनी annual report ला रहा है, तो वो letter क्या कहती है? First, the letter was issued in pursuance of section 53 of RBI Act 1934, which mandate RBI to submit its annual account and annual report to the central government. That is correct. Annual accounts submitted by RBI include information such as income, expenditure, asset, liability, reserves, provisions, as well as they are certified by auditors as well as the RBI officials. Statement 3 says annual report of the central board focuses only on monetary policy decision. No sir, it focuses on monetary policy, inflation, banking sector, financial stability, digital payments and whatnot. It is not limited to monetary policy alone. The letter of transmittal reflects RBI's accountability framework and enables parliamentary oversight over central bank operations. सुनना एक बार सर, ये जो letter of transmittal है, it reflects the accountability framework. It ensures transparency, accountability. और अगर मैं कहूं तो preliminary oversight has been taken into consideration. That is correct. RBI submit these documents directly to Parliament without routing them through the Government of India. सर ये documents RBI directly पार्लियामेंट को देता नहीं सर. आरबीआई डॉक्यूमेंट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को देता, पार्लियामेंट को नहीं देता. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट उसे ले करती है इन फ्रंट ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विल प्रेजेंट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. दैट इज अ पॉइंट. Is it clear everybody? So answer will be 1, 2 and 4. That means A option is the correct answer. So I hope each and every point which we have discussed is clear. If you want to download the PDF, it will be available on our Telegram channel. Do download the PDF, and with the help of this PDF alone, you will be able to revise all the important aspects of the report which can be asked in the examination. Thank you so much. If you haven't hit the like button, do hit the like button before leaving. If you haven't shared the link of this session, do inform your friends to watch this session to cover the entire MCQs on the annual report in less than 100 minutes.